Good evening all, thank you for coming. Who has been to a property meeting before? Okay, you have, okay, cool. Who's here for the very first time? Okay, cool. What should normally happen is that people who haven't been here come and sit in this room and I talk to them, but it seems like everyone's come in, so we're just going to start, I think. I might rattle through these slides. Tristan, is anybody outside now, or have we all started? Okay, I'll whiz through these slides. Yeah. Okay, so who's heard of this chap? This is particularly to the new people, but yeah, good stuff. So he started this networking meeting, or the PIN network, 20 years ago. It's the biggest network in the UK for property. He's the author of that book, Property Magic. And yeah, he set this environment up. There's 50 meetings in the UK, over 50 meetings. So they provide a supportive environment for new and experienced investors all over the UK. So these are the core values, and I sort of stay at this point. I hope that you would see some of this demonstrated as you go through the next couple of hours. So integrity, so Simon and his organisation endorse win-win ethical investing. You're going to hear from some speakers tonight, and so hopefully you'll get a sense of their inspiring stories, their passion for the business. And I think it's a bit unusual in the property industry, but this group of people tend to like sharing their successes and failures. They're quite open about it. So what I would recommend is take advantage of that and ask each other lots of questions, because you're going to get honest answers and feedback about how you might want to progress in your journey. Who goes to PIN? One of my favourite slides is this one, because it demonstrates that no matter how experienced you are, you can always learn more. So, and these are the types of people that come. So a few years ago, we found out that 31% of people who come to these meetings have no properties. So, and each group is represented in this room today. I can sort of vouch for that. 29% have 1 to 3 properties, 20% have more than 8, and 20% have between 4 and 7. So you're not quite sure who you're sat next to. Potentially, you might be sat next to a new person or someone with 8 or more properties, but on a different stage of their journey. So again, ask the question, find out. Maybe don't ask how many properties have you got, but just ask questions, then they probably respond to you in an appropriate way. So you are in an experienced and supportive environment. That's what that's meant to show. This is the meeting format. So after the networking, which we've just done, I'll introduce the meeting in a few moments. We'll have Vincent Birch going to talk to us about the mortgage update. I'm going to give you a bit of update about the lettings market. Then we're going to have our first speaker. So Ben, hi Ben, is going to talk to us about the importance of being a brand. So not something you might hear about in property, but we are marketing ourselves to our investors, or our importance of being a brand. Anyone heard Tristan before? So I think the message has come through loud and clear. We have our service providers. This is a super important part of the meeting for me. So I've been coming here 10 years, and I was encouraged at the start to say who I am, what I'm looking for, and how I can help. So have a think about what you might say in that 20 seconds. The benefit of doing that is that when you stand up, people will know who you are, what you can do, so you can more easily network with them. And then by everyone else doing it, you can spot people that you want to speak to too. There'll be people in the room that will definitely help you on your journey through property. So our second speaker, Richard. Hi, Richard. Richard's going to talk to us about how to make more money with less time in our property businesses. So pens and paper at the ready. We need to take lots of notes for that one. And then we'll close. So we can learn the latest strategies, like-minded people. That's really the value of, I think, being in this room. Gain motivation, learn from others, build your power team, and lots of training available. And that's how we can connect. Does that all make sense? Everyone's in the right room? Good. Okay, so let's move on. So before we start, 2 seconds about how I got here and etc. So I've been an accountant for 20 years. So I did university, then got qualified, and really enjoyed that career. So I like spreadsheets, etc. That was my background. Been a landlord since 2005. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki said perhaps buy property because the money works for you. It's an asset, not a liability. So I thought, okay, I can do property. I'll buy it and just sit on it forever and we'll make a load of money. While that's not wrong, it's not the only way to do property. So we've been refurbishing and investing properties. We established Jones&Co 10 years ago. I've been letting agent speaker in this room since 2016 and hosting it since 2019. We have now a podcast and the things that I enjoy doing, sailing, skiing, running, cycling and travelling. So that's a bit about what Jones&Co can do. So manage properties Norfolk-wide, sales, lettings, property acquisitions, refurbishment, coaching, and increasingly a network of professionals and an education kind of slant on what we do to make sure that landlords and investors are well educated. So this is the format of the meeting. Introduction, I'm going to introduce Vincent to the stage in a few moments. I'm going to talk to you a bit about lettings. Our first speaker, then there are service providers, second speaker, and then some announcements, and we'll all be done by about 9 o'clock. Okay, so I think it's a great slide because I think it does really encompass what PIN's about. So PIN can help you in 3 ways. So being part of this community, part of this room, PIN can help you with training and knowledge because it's a training organisation. There's lots of courses you can get involved in. This is the flagship course. There are other courses that are available to give you an introduction into the property world. So knowledge is something that the PIN network does extremely well. But what it also does, and I think increasingly important, is a support network. So if you're a landlord already, you might appreciate that it sometimes can be a lonely business. If you've got decisions to make about what to buy, where to buy, how to refurb, how to deal with a tenant, blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff, because you're the business owner and you're the guy who needs to make the decision, it can feel like lonely sometimes. But in this room, you can just offload and get that off your chest and kind of find out how other people might do it. And that's, again, one of the real values of this room. And then mindset. So you might be sat next to someone who's in the 8 property or more camp. They probably think differently than you might do because they've achieved a different level of success. And I think that's all okay. As long as we understand all that, we can train ourselves to think bigger, differently, etc. So hopefully get the most out of ourselves, essentially. So that's what PIN can help you with. So I'm going to invite Vincent to the stage. So put your hands together.